Here, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Wabi from the Politically Correct Show, coming to you from my brother's crib. Don't mind this ugly, ugly sign over here. We don't do that here at the Politically Correct Show. So, and try to cover it as much as possible. But this is the area where I sit. So, this is the area where I'm gonna record. But in the meantime, I'm gonna talk to you about uh, the Timberwolves, and I'm gonna talk to you about the Nuggets because it's about that time I told y'all that I don't watch too much basketball until it's playoff time, and I don't want to be Dame or nothing, but it's time. You know what I'm saying? We out here. It's Saturday, 3:30. It's gonna be playoffs, and they're starting with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets, I believe. So that's where I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna say the Nuggets have it at 6. Um, just because of the playmaking alone, but you want to get into the bench. You got the supporting cast. Not talking about the bench at that point. The supporting cast, with like Jamal Murray and Bruce Brown and shit. So it's like the Timberwolves. They're a more different team. Like they got like Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle. So it's like for them, in order for them to win, they have to play really good defense. This is like the historic offense. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still historic. Like don't get it wrong. Just because they're not winning championships doesn't mean that they're not a historic offense. As long as you have Jokic on your side, you're always gonna have a historic offense. And then, they still have Jamal Murray, they still have Bruce Brown, they still have like pieces that are like Jeff Green, because they had the little old heads and stuff that I can't name off the Caldwell Pope. Caldwell Pope don't play no more, but they had Caldwell Pope when they had the championship. But they have role players like Watson who, can get that job done that Caldwell Pope once had, so that Jeff Green once had. So yeah, so like for me, I feel like the Nuggets are still the Nuggets. They just haven't won a championship in a little bit for a dynasty. So, this is like when the Warriors won their last chip, and like I believe it was like 22. It's like this is the make or break for the dynasty. And then even when they win this, the future is the make or break. So I think the Nuggets aren't going to go out without a fight on that basis as well in these playoffs. So it's not like the same Nuggets like last year or even the year before that. These are the Nuggets that really need that chip because they haven't won that chip in a while for a dynasty. So I can't see them leaving in the first round either. But I can't see the Timberwolves leaving in the first round. And this is a good first round game, but I'm going to have to go with the Nuggets at 6, Yeah, the Nuggets at 6. 5 or 6. It might go to 7. But I'm leaning towards the 5 or 6 realm because I just can't see the Nuggets. Not even just Jokic. Like everybody, like back in the day, used to be like, I can't see LeBron or I can't see Kobe, going out in the first round. No, I can't. see the Nuggets. There's the team, the way it's constructed, it's still pretty good, pretty perfectly sound. I only say perfectly sound because they're not like the number one seed or anything, but they're pretty prepared. I think the Nuggets are gonna go far now. Will they make the finals? I think that's a stretch. Maybe not, but conference finals isn't out of the table for them, and certainly the finals aren't out of the table for them. But you know, this is a team that's gonna fight harder than what they did the last 2, 3, probably even 4 years ago. Like you know when they was winning the championship over the Heat, my team, and that's another thing I need to get into. When they were playing the Heat in the championship, one thing that I always look at and always sticks with me is that the coaching is so good in Denver that they're able to get like mixed matches like Jimmy Butler covering Jokic in the paint, and doing that does two things. It eliminates the great defense that Jimmy Butler provides, and then it also gives you the 2 points because Jimmy Butler isn't guarding Jokic. So, if they do stuff like that, you know, to the Timberwolves, then because this is the playoffs, so this is very strategic. Like, in the regular season, 82 games, we're playing. We balling, we playing. I'm not trying to say it's like playground balling, but you know, in the playoffs, it's way more strategic. You got less games to mess up on. So if they do stuff like that in the series too many times, the Nuggets are just easily gonna destroy them like they did the Heat. And I'm only gonna speak on the Heat because when I saw that, it just like it drew me crazy. Like I was just like yelling at the TV in my head, like, "Yo, what's up with Jimmy Butler guarding Jokic in the paint? You can't guard his fat ass in the paint." Like, so at the end of the day, that's who I have. I have the Nuggets. Um, I think the Nuggets are gonna come and play this year in the playoffs. So no early horseback riding for Jokic. So with that, uh, God bless you. God bless the first state, and God bless America. You already know the rest. Wabi. I'm out.